Okay, Ali Baba Part 2. If you remember, we left off with Kasim's wife finding a gold dinar in the bottom of the omer that she had loaned to Ali Baba's wife. Kasim, she shrieked, but Kasim was not home yet. She walked the floor and waited. It was late when Kasim came. She was still walking the floor. So, she shrieked, you think we're rich? Aha! And we count our dinars. Ali measures his. She showed Kasim the omer with the dinar stuck in the bottom. Kasim's fingers itched. He laid awake all night muttering, dinars by the omer, dinars by the omer. By dawn, he was hammering on Ali's door. He didn't take time to say good morning to Ali. He stomped into the house and slammed the door and held out the omer. Explain yourself, he shouted. Explain yourself or I'll call the police. Ali's wife began to cry, but Ali said, it's all right, dear. Our secret is safe with Kasim. He told his brother about the robbers and the cave. Kasim listened. He nodded. Open sesame, huh? He stomped out the door and hurried to the market to buy mules. The next day, before dawn, Kasim was at the cave with 10 mules and 20 chests. Open sesame, he shouted. The rock opened. He ran into the cave. He threw himself on the floor and buried his arms up to his elbows in gold. After a while, he dragged his chest into the cave. Shut, sesame. The rock closed. He began to shovel gold into the chest. What riches, what a wonderful life he would have. He would build another house, a palace, the biggest in the world. He would have a boat, a ship, the biggest in the world. He shoveled and dreamed and dreamed and shoveled until the chests were full. Open, he stopped. What was the word? Open, wheat. The rock did not move. Kasim tried every grain he could think of. He shouted until he was hoarse. Still, the rock did not move. I must be calm, he told himself. I must sit down quietly and wait. It will come to me. That's all I need to do. Just sit down quietly and wait. But there was no time to wait. He heard the thunder of hoofbeats on the road. The robbers, they were coming to the cave. Kasim darted here and there, hunting for a place to hide. Then he knew it was no use to hide. He heard their shouts of anger. The robbers had found his mules. They knew that someone was in the cave. In a moment the rock would open. What could he do? Make a dash for it? Could he escape from 40 robbers? Kasim took a deep breath, clenched his fist, and waited by the door. He heard the command, open sesame. The rock opened. Kasim dashed out, but before he had taken 5 steps, the robbers fell on him with their swords and hacked him to pieces. There, one of the robbers shouted, our secret is safe again. Dead men tell no tales. What shall we do with his body? Asked another. Put it inside the cave, the captain said. Inside the cave? They were puzzled, but they obeyed. All morning, Kasim's wife waited for him to return with 20 chests of gold. By noon, she was angry. By evening, she was frightened. She went to Ali's house. There's nothing to worry about, Ali said. Kasim is just waiting until dark to bring his mules into the city. She thanked him and went away. At 2 a.m, she was back again weeping. No sign of Kasim yet. Go home and tell nobody, Ali said. I'll find out what has happened. Before dawn, he went to the forest with his 3 donkeys as though he was going to cut wood. When he was sure there was no one near, he hurried to the cave. Open sesame. The rock opened. Ali saw Kasim's body and fell on his knees with a cry. Then he knew what he must do. It was still early morning when he led one donkey into the courtyard of Kasim's home. Morgiana, the young slave girl, opened the door. She did not ask questions. She took one look at Ali's face and understood. Morgiana, he said, I bring sad news. What's more, all our lives are in danger. I need your help. She bowed. Your wish is my command. My wife has talked of you. She says you are as kind as you are beautiful. I hope you're as clever as you are kind. Morgiana bowed again. You command and I obey. They hid poor Cassim's body in a secret room in the cellar. Then they made their plans. I shall not fail, Morgiana promised. Ali Baba went to talk to his brother's widow. First he said, "No crying out. Our lives are in danger." He told her of Cassim's death and of what Morgiana would do to help. "When it is over, my wife and I shall come to live with you. We'll share the gold with you." "You are kinder than I deserve," she said. Ali went back to Morgiana. "She will be quiet," he said. "Now everything depends on you." Morgiana nodded. She went to the shop that sold medicine and asked for a powerful drug. "Who is sick at your house?" the shopkeeper asked. "My poor master Cassim." "Oh, no, I saw him a day or so ago." "He was stricken very suddenly," Morgiana said. She took the medicine and hurried away. At the corner she looked back. The shopkeeper was in the street, waving his hands and talking to the man from the next shop. "I knew he would spread the news," Morgiana said. Later that day she went to the shop again, weeping, and asked for a stronger medicine. It was something they gave only to a man at the point of death. "Is he that sick?" the shopkeeper asked. "Poor master, I'm afraid there's no hope for him." Again, when she got to the corner, Morgiana looked back. The shopkeeper was on the street, talking to three men this time. That night, when the weeping and wailing began in Cassim's home, everyone in the neighborhood said, "I knew it was coming. Poor Cassim." Ali and his wife came to stay with Cassim's widow. Ali called Morgiana aside. "This is the most dangerous part of it," he said. "I shall not fail," she promised. At 2 o'clock in the morning, when the streets were empty, she went across the city to a place where she was not known. She went to the shop of Mustafa, an old shoemaker. She knocked and she knocked. Okay, guys, I think we're going to stop right there today. So you'll have to come back for part 3 tomorrow to find out why she went to see the shoe keeper. So I hope to see you guys tomorrow.